Yo, what's good? It's your boy llmind. You know, I partnered up with ProducerGrind. Make sure you go check out that Best of llmind pack with ProducerGrind. I'm about to cook up some shit right now. Let's go. The first placement that really changed my life was in 2012. I produced a song called The Morning on the Kanye West Good Music Cruel Summer album. And at that time, it was almost impossible to work with Kanye unless you were like signed to Good Music. You know, he had S1, Hit Boy, Travis Scott was signed as a producer. A lot of people don't know that. And so the short version of it was I did an album with this underground rapper from Brooklyn named Skyzoo in 2010. And we just so happened to have a feature from this rapper named Rhymefest. Now, Rhymefest is actually one of Kanye's best friends. So after we did that feature, I got to know Rhymefest, and I used to just send him beats, you know, randomly. In 2011, he hit me up and he was like, yo, I'm in Hawaii with Kanye. Can you send some beats over? So I sent him like 30 or 40 beats and he hit me back. He was like, yo, hold this one. So then almost a year later, which was like a couple months before Cruel Summer came out, he texted me and he was like, yo, Kanye's going crazy over this one. He just rapped over it. And then I'm like, all right, bet. So that placement in 2012 with Kanye like really opened the door for publishers and just kind of industry taking notice of like what I was doing and who I was. So I like to start designing sounds that I want to use. Right, so I'm constantly like figuring out, okay, what am I missing in my stash? And you know, obviously these days things are a little different because there's an abundance of sounds that you can access now. But back in like the 2012, 13, 14 era, you didn't have too many options for drum kits and percussion loops and VSTs even. So I was just creating sounds and one-shots and loops that I wanted to use for my own production. And somewhere along those lines, I realized that, hey, like maybe there's other producers that want these same sounds. So then I started creating drum kits and loop packs, and they started to like create momentum for me. So my process is really just figuring out how to create things that I want to use, and it's a combination of like sounds from like old beat machines to literally miking up drums and miking up different sounds and like using like actual like cowbells and like tambourines and stuff to just like try to create sound. And that's kind of what the early days of sound design were. It was like, how can I create something from scratch that doesn't exist and make it sound as cool as possible? So, you know, that was sort of the process. And today, like the process is like pretty much the same. From the very beginning, since I started sound designing and like selling packs, my goal has always been, how can I create something that could inspire you to become better, right? And I know that's kind of like an obvious answer, but I sort of have this vision of creating loops and drums and sounds that are highly usable and that will inspire you to create the best product possible. And every single snare that you hear in my pack, every hi-hat, every clap, I really try to just like take my time and like create something special every single time. And I think that's why my packs were so popular back then, and you know, still are to a certain extent, is because I try to be very unique with what I create. And I'll never create a one shot or a loop that I wouldn't want to use myself. You know, like everything that I create has to be exciting and different and have texture. And I know that like when you're a producer, you're scrolling through so many folders to look for the right sound. And I just always want to make sure that I'm creating sounds that could inspire you, that are a little bit different than everything else. So when you hear my packs, you're going to hear different textures. I pride myself in creating packs that don't sound like anything else. So, you know, you're not going to get that same trap snare in the pack over and over and over again, just like pitched up or down. Like you're not going to get that from my packs. Like my packs are meant to inspire you to use something new and something different. And, you know, hopefully it levels up what you're doing. And you know, I think you're really going to enjoy it. All right, so one real cool thing that I love to do, especially if I'm doing boom bap or just something like more chill, is I'll just go into the drum break collection and then just grab a drum break just to immediately get something going. So like even something like that. So it's like, I'll drop it right into the DAW. I won't even change anything. I'll just drop it right in. And this is a good way to just like play melodies over, you know? So throughout this whole process for me, like you're not really supposed to know what's good until you start fucking around, you know? So like you really just like keep that, just keep layering some shit over it. Right now I'm just getting ideas out, but like I haven't even started saucing any of this up. So I'm just really like getting a good melody going and a good idea, and then like really what I do to these sounds is really like what's gonna make it pop. So grab like a little pad, like a little bright pad. All right, so now what I like to do is like bounce to audio. So that's what I like about the one shots. You can really just like get an idea out really quick and just get inspired fast. That's really the purpose of my packs, is to inspire you very quickly to get something going, and then you can really just start playing around with like the effects and like how you want them to sound, and like really just start destroying the sound and like manipulating them in different ways. This is like some West Side Gun shit. To the texture folder, so you just go to accents and textures, just grab something cool, interesting, like that could be kind of lit. So just like fucking throw this shit in there. Let's go to open hats. So I have an idea for like a little open hat. It sounds real dirty. Yeah, so I'll take this. I'm gonna put some little hi-hats in here too. Remember when Pharrell used to do those like 4-beat starts? So like dun dun dun, yeah. I've been doing that lately. Be like shit like this. So like you can start the beat off like this, like. Yo, you got bars, Telly? This beat's finished. Do. Alright, we got it.
That was nasty.
Yeah, that was hard.
That was a great one.
I like that.
And that was cool. Bro, somebody asked, bro, what's his name? Cool.